Hi YouTubers, another video from me here, Evelyn. So we're going to go back to a K-drama review. It's called The Judge from Hell. I'm being pleasantly surprised by this series. I've seen the first 2 episodes and I think this is the darkest fantasy show they've done today in Korea. So the main actress, if you remember her from Dr. Slump, Park Shin-Hye, she plays a devil that came from hell to possess the body of this judge, because the devil character or the judge called Justicia or Justice, I'm almost saying that in Spanish, that there's judges in hell, and this particular judge made a wrong decision about the human body that Park Shin-hye's character is of Kang Bit-na. Interesting name. So the premise is that Park Shin-hye, as the human character of Kang Bit-na, she is a judge. We don't know what happened to her, but she's in the park and it's snowing, it's winter, she gets stabbed. And then when she dies, her soul comes out from the body, and this pathway of, let's say, to hell with like a path of roses. I'm like, wow. She ends up in hell. And that's where she meets the judge, called Hustia? Let's call her Justice. The actress, I think she's Kim Hye-hwa. I'll verify this. Who's like Justice meets Kang Bit-na, and after declaring this other person, to be guilty of a big stamp at the end of this sword that she has, that person goes to hell. And then the human character of Kang Bit-na, she arrives there all confused, and she's like, what the hell is going on? And Justice and her henchman, she's like, who are you? And then she starts assuming that Kang Bit-na, she was a murderer as well. So now the reasoning and the overreacting of this decision, it's a bit weak in my eyes. Like, common sense is some wandering person turns up at your place unexpected, not on a list to be judged, to either go to hell or God knows where else, you would think you would have some rationality. But apparently the moral of this story is, if a figurative kind of like supernatural god called Justice, the idea is this is the figurehead of, when you see in courts in America or whatever, that statue of the lady with the blindfold and the sword and the scales, we're inferring that this is her. Like, let's say, think of like Greek mythology. And I don't understand how she came to that conclusion, a type of god-like figure making a rash decision saying that Kang Bit-na, she's definitely a murderer. And then, but Justice's sidekick says, oh, the king of hell will be angry for you making such a rash decision. But Justice doesn't care, so she goes and condemns Kang Bit-na to hell with the sword, and she goes off. And then lo and behold, the devil walks in with the 8 tails. Now, what can I say? Who's the devil here? Well, I'll put the name there. Here he goes and says instantly, Justice, you went and condemn somebody to go to a wrong place. You have to fix the issue, something along the lines. And then Justice is like, why my fault, blah blah blah. I'm like, wow, you're meant to be somebody of of the law and stuff, and making such let's say irrational theories or assessment. So the devil, the king of hell, says, you have to go to earth, possess the body of Kang Bit-na, because the body's still there, and find, I think, was it 11 murderers that are unrepentant, and send them back to hell. So we get a cool scene when Justice, the actress, walks to the real world, and she implants her being, her essence, into Park Shin-hye's body. Now, from moving forward, we get a time jump of Park Shin-hye, aka now let's call the devil judge, let's say. She's explaining to a load of people in the hospital, a load of psychiatrists, her story being actually a demon from hell, and they're all playing off as though this woman has a delusion. The understanding is that after the stabbing, Park Shin-hye, aka the devil judge, had to spend some time in the hospital for rehabilitation. And now this is the weird part. So quickly that she gets back to work as a judge. Also, her henchman also went with her. Now the actor, I've seen him everywhere. He's one of those side supporting characters. I don't want to say side character. Depending on the drama that he is in, he's a very versatile actor. I wouldn't want to say a character actor, but I'm not sure if I'm conflating both. So the actor of Lee Jong-ok, he's now, well, the devil judge psychic puts his soul into this guy's body of the actor of Lee Jong-ok, and he's there helping, you know, his mistress, let's say, in the real world. And the whole idea is that if Park Shin-Hye, the devil judge, is you're able to find murders because she's a judge, and assessing which cases could help her to reach her, you know, her goals of going back to hell and not, and the devil not killing her. Now, episode 1 and 2, we get the interaction of the secondary lead, the male lead of Kim Jae-Young. I've seen this actor not like as a secondary or like side character in other K-drama, so I feel like this is his chance to really bring out the lead. Because Park Shin-Hye, great, she's a veteran actor, like had a baby a couple of years, 2 years ago, came back, did Dr. Slump. I did a review of it, if you want to see, is in my channel. So the role that she's taking is like, wow, like full no punches. There's a really I don't want to say the most graphic violence ever, but graphic for Korean standards, in my opinion, of the multitude of K-dramas I've seen. So there's one particular case in which this terrified woman is trying to get away from her abuser, but she's been stalked by him and she can't escape him no matter what, and she's been, you know, traumatized that her boyfriend's threatening to kill her family and this, and she just wants to be away from it. She even was writing a letter of forgiveness, something along the lines. But the devil judge, not to conflate with the other K-drama, I'm gonna name it that hell, like I'll put pictures and stuff as I always do. She sees this as an opportunity to get her first kill a murderer, basically. So with the male lead of Kim Jae-young, he plays a young detective of Han Da-eun, in which he also has more of a similar view of being like vigilante type with the law. So he crosses paths with the devil judge, in which he's been sued by a criminal that he was trying to arrest, but the whole idea of police violence. So we get that funny scene where the devil judge there, she's drinking her coke and she says the obvious, that the guy representing the criminal has ties with with some like rich politician person, and the case gets dismissed, and they have that kind of funny dialogue. From episode 1 to 2, Han Da-eun, he's a part of the case of the woman that's being abused by her boyfriend. Since he sees that the devil judge has more flexibility regarding the law, he tries to get her help, and it's that funny thing because the whole idea of a supernatural being not really thinking that this young police guy can help her, so she kind of does her own thing. But he does intercede when she's about to kill the boyfriend, so she has to go the long way around. She lures the boyfriend. Well, after when he gets released to pay a fine, because that's what the devil judge decided, she's got a like rule that he only has to pay a fine, but he's still out in the streets. So after he goes and attacks his girlfriend yet again, like Jesus, it was like they did real good makeup on this poor woman, like swollen eyes and everything. Like she finally received help from her parents. She finally like let go. But then again, the poor parents, like the dad, I recognize him from other K-dramas, you know, like I don't want to say weak people, but like just average normal people like that they've never been in a fight, and the dad's trying his best to protect his daughter, and it even came to the point where he was willing to sacrifice his life to kill the boyfriend. But before that, the devil judge lures the boyfriend using her sidekick to imitate the girlfriend's voice. He heads to this abandoned house, and the devil judge gives her a sentence. Well, she puts him in this alternate reality in which he gets a taste of his own medicine, in which the assumption the devil judge is pretending to be the girlfriend, and she's doing everything, all the abusive behavior that this guy would do to his girlfriend. And the ending part of that bit was like, wow. At the end, Park Shin-Hye grabs the bat and starts bashing the guy in with legs and everything in between, blood everywhere. Now she convinced me, like, wow, okay, this makes me want to see it. It's like like the gloves are off all the kind of like reservations or the conservativeness of how people may interpret, you know, Korea. And this is not going to be, I don't know if they're going to do a whole romance plot line as they typically do with the male lead, because how would they even do that? Or maybe like it's gonna be this way. They're gonna give the original human body that of Kang Bitna, that that God is gonna resend her back to her body, and most likely she's gonna end up with the cop as a human, like the real person of Kang Bitna. But that's my assumption. If that happens, well, what can I say? It's not a big stretch to think that's will happen, because this of the goddess or the devil judge or Justicia, she doesn't bring out, oh my god, I'm gonna fall in love with the human vibe. It's more like she's there to complete her mission. But the other part of the story, which is kind of inferring about the devil judge learning the concept of compassion and seeing the gray bits, that not everything is black or white, there is the in-between. That's the feeling, the whole point of this. So the ending of episode 2, Kang Bitna, or the devil judge, she realizes that for her to find more murderers to send to hell, aka kill, she's gonna need a partner. So her sidekick makes the rational suggestion: why don't you use the cop that gave you the card as, you know, leverage? But then again, throughout the episode, Justicia is giving mixed messages to the cop, whether she's, you know, fighting for justice or she's acting above the law, like doing her own thing with no like consideration of the repercussions. So she does a thing where she ambushes the cop with beer and food and stuff, while the cop doesn't want none of it. He doesn't really trust her anymore. One moment he's like, oh, she's there for the people, and the next moment she's there only for herself. So there's like mixed messages. Because of course at the end that Justicia does talk with the abused woman and kind of like tells her in an indirect way it's not your fault, in which the cop finds out and leaves him even more confused. Who is this person? Are they fighting for people, or they're only just for themselves? So Justicia, the devil judge, manages to like rush this guy into having some drinks, some food, and a little campfire. And after many drinks, the cop admits, oh, thank you. And he admits in some straight, why would you admit that he doesn't admit, I killed 3 people and I believe stabbed them? And what do you call it? Justicia sees this as my interpretation at the end, sees that as a perfect moment to find this guy that's done 3 murders to send him to hell. She's probably thinking this will make things quicker. So she stabs him at the end of episode 2 and watches over his body. Now this is the end. I went and summarized both episodes. Now this K-drama left me really surprised. I was like, it's quite dark, and it's not ashamed to say it is for what it is. It's interesting how in these Korean dramas how they represent heaven and hell. Sometimes you may use their mythology, or sometimes they may take aspects of, let's say, the Catholic Christianity faith, or more Catholic, because in Korea they seem to more lean towards more Catholicism. That's how they portray in these dramas. But anyone correct me of what's more, I don't want to say the popular religion, but the more prominent religion, Christianity or Catholicism. And it's kind of like they take bits of Catholicism and they blend it together with their own mythology of the 9 tails fox. Because when the king, like the king of hell came in, it was 8 tails, 8 or 9 tails, aka the fox god. So you can see references of that. Do I recommend people to see it? Hell yeah, recommend it. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. And do you think this is a good change for the actress Park Shin-Hye, more versatility? And do you think there will be a romance lead? Not sure yet. So as I leave you always, stay safe. And to any new subscribers, big thank you for subscribing. And to any new viewers, I really appreciate we can hit the subscribe button, leave the channel growing. As I leave you always, stay safe. Bye.